Britain's rivers are responsible for some of the country's dreamiest scenery, but it's safe to say the rise in pollution is causing a real nightmare.
The level of contaminants like sewage and litter is reaching record highs, and it's having a huge impact on the wildlife that lives there, as conservationist Megan McCubbin has been hearing.
Rivers have been the lifeblood of Britain for thousands of years. They shape our landscapes and our communities.
This here is the River Wharfe, which winds its way around Wetherby from its original source in the Yorkshire Dales.
But with river pollution in some parts of the UK at a 10-year high,
I'm not just interested in the beauty above the water, I want to see what's going on below the surface too.
the river draws anglers, walkers and boaters alike. I'm here to meet Mark Barrow. 35 years ago, his curiosity about what lay beneath the surface led him to dip his toes a little bit deeper, and he started scuba diving in the river.
Mark, this is your local stretch of river.
It is.
It's gorgeous. I know this is an environment that you're really passionate about.
Yeah, I've filmed in rivers now for 35 years.
In 2018, Mark set out on a 5-year project to capture all 65 miles of the River Wharfe on film.
When I first started filming, it wouldn't be uncommon for me to actually get into a section of river, just upstream, be surrounded by grayling 300 to 400 strong, full of fish. It was amazing. You move forward now to 2025 and I'm filming those grayling in pockets of 30 to 40. That's if I'm lucky. And then you move downstream 3 or 4 metres and the riverbed is just covered in thick filamentous algae, string algae. The spawning gravels are getting completely suffocated, so that next generation of fish just isn't coming through. It's not just the sewage pollution, there's all different types of pollution, from chemical, pharmaceutical. There is some agricultural pollution going in the river as well.
Yeah.
So it's a whole process of different things that are going on with the river that's affecting it, to be quite honest.
It's a cocktail, unfortunately.
Yes. Yeah.
According to the Environment Agency, serious pollution incidents caused by water companies in England rose by 60% last year. Just 3 firms, Thames Water, Southern Water and Yorkshire Water, were behind the vast majority. As regular river users, anglers are well placed to observe the river and its condition, and the Angling Trust have been doing just that. Alex Farquhar is the Trust's campaign officer.
The river looks a bit murky because we've had a lot of rain, but that's what these tests are for. We're going to find out what's actually going on.
The Water Quality Monitoring Network was launched in May 2022, providing anglers with testing kits to measure phosphate, ammonia and nitrate levels in the water.
So this is nitrate, so this is another nutrient, and along with phosphate, the reason we test for them is that they're basically fertilisers. So when you've got algae in the water, it exists naturally. But when they've got loads of these nutrients pouring in from agriculture and sewage and everywhere else, you get massive algal blooms. They use all the oxygen in the water. So things like your fish and your insects and everything else doesn't have the oxygen that it relies on to survive. And that's where we're at the crisis point we're at today.
This process, known as eutrophication, can be monitored through these simple testing kits which have been made available to the public to help gather data through what's become known as citizen science.
We've got 800 individuals around the UK and they're going to be coming out and testing ideally at least once a month for a period of at least 2 years. So that's the real beauty of our network. We can see what's happening over time and then track the changes.
Getting a picture all around the UK as a whole.
Anyone can get involved and there's a lot of people who are doing projects like this to find out what's going on.
Here in Yorkshire, anglers from the Boston Spa Angling Club have been casting their lines along this stretch for over a century. This club's stretch of river is downstream from a wastewater treatment works.
Chris, are you having to choose the places you're coming to fish a bit more carefully now?
Yeah, there'll be certain pegs on the stretch that you know are going to hold fish in certain conditions, but then on the occasions where the river goes dirty, it doesn't matter what peg you're in, you just won't get a bite.
The members have been collecting samples and testing pollution levels in the water.
You've kind of seen it ebb and flow, go up and down,
Yeah.
excuse the pun, ebb and flow. But you know, you've noticed, don't you, those changes, and it makes you quite concerned.
Yeah, people need to be aware that it is not an accident of nature that we are having things in the river that shouldn't be there. It's a direct action by individual companies, and part of gathering the evidence is to keep the pressure on those firms to say, you said you were going to clean it up. Well, we'll be monitoring and watching to see if they do clean it up.
3 years of data has now been gathered, and the project is able to draw some interesting conclusions.
Let's see what we've got here. We're going to match it up to here.
Well, I would say, well, this one is number
More like
2.
that one, you reckon?
Yeah, it's a pretty solid match.
So there we go. We've got 0.04 for phosphate, which is actually very good measurement.
pretty good.
It's a good measurement today.
Okay.
So the reason for that, had a lot of rain just come through. So there's much more water in the river, meaning what pollutants are in there are going to be massively diluted. The target we look for across rivers is 0.31. Now, that was actually broken in 34% of sites we monitored over last year. So clearly, days like today don't happen all the time.
Yeah.
It's a high rate, and the same with that nitrate. It was quite good today, but 45% showed signs of pollution last year. It's confirmed what anglers have been saying for years, which is wildlife has been declining at a really, really alarming rate, and the data's backed it up.
There are lots of other opportunities to engage with citizen science research projects across the UK and throughout the year.
I've always been drawn to rivers. It's sad that there isn't the abundance of wildlife and the health that was once there, but then you come and meet people like Mark, like Alex, who are so passionate, doing everything they can to raise awareness and make the changes needed for these ecosystems. And in that, there's hope.